Oh, looky who we have here. Welcome to the Pre Pod, Steve.
It's good to be here. It's
How
been
you
a
doing?
long-awaited journey.
How's it going? Enjoying a kombucha?
Oh, of course. Ginger lemon
Ginger lemon. Nice.
keeps you. The ginger keeps you on edge.
Makes you
Really
shit.
gets the senses going.
Yeah, the long awaited Steve. Finally, we got him on, the elusive man. We're all decked out in our X Files shirts. We want to
The truth
believe
is out
the
there.
truth's out there.
Yeah, I've been wanting to have Steve on so I could tell him how bad his team is in person.
Oh, I mean, seen enough episodes to know how bad my team is.
He's a
It's all
regular
I
viewer,
hear.
a commenter as well. Always dig the comments.
Oh yeah. I mean, sometimes I just hear absurd stuff that I have to make a statement on.
Well, yeah, welcome, Steve. Glad to have you on. Seeing your beautiful face from the state of New York. Without further ado, we're just diving right in. We have Quan and Austin's matchup first. Steve, you want to give your thoughts as the guest honors?
All right. Now, let's click on their matchup here. I'm not exactly sure how to get a. I thought that I knew how to click directly on the matchup, but maybe I don't.
Are you on
Sometimes,
Fantasy Cast?
yeah, sometimes it can be a little tricky.
Fantasy cast, that's what we want. Okay, see, I was on scoreboard, totally different.
Not everyone's a trained professional like us, Garrett.
Well, I can jump in and say my thoughts. I think Austin's team is a good team, and I think Quan's team is a bad team. That kind of comes down to it.
That's what seems a little aggressive.
I mean, Quan is 1-8.
A hard fought 1-8.
It's definitely been a hard fought battle for each one of those 8.
Yeah, I mean, Quan's got the man Geno Smith himself, but
he has something against him that it's not in his control. He's unlucky. He has a bad team and he's unlucky. Unlike our guest today, who has a bad team but really lucky.
You could say luck, but you could also say it's strategic movement.
Actually, what I usually say is not luck. I say that you sold your soul to the devil.
And I think that would be a far better observation because there was a decision in success, success didn't happen on accident.
It gives you more agency.
Exactly. But viewing Austin's team, Austin's team feels more like his team feels more in struggle than Quan's. Even like record, ignore record. We're talking about right now, this week. This man, DeAndre Swift, hasn't done anything. Kyle Pitts hasn't done anything.
Well, he's also starting both the Lions running backs. That's a little scary.
I think that's a decent decision. I mean, it's better than starting one of them.
Against a very good run defense, though.
Kyle Pitts, I'm glad you mentioned him. Even though tight end might be the least important position in fantasy, Kyle Pitts is a fucking anchor for a team that I otherwise think is pretty decent. Kyle Pitts is just dragging him down.
It's putting him to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels bad because of investment.
Well, has he set his team up? I guess he has. He's not starting Zeke. I mean, he was probably going to put Zeke in, right?
I think there's logic in starting both Chicago running backs because realistically, Jamal Williams does well when DeAndre Swift doesn't. So it's like
he's going to get one of them to do well, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, is Zeke really worth putting in? I'm pretty sure
Zeke has not been. I mean, he had 15 and 17 in the past 2 weeks, which is pretty good, but he's only had one double-digit game otherwise. So Don't know.
See, I did have a lot of interest in Zeke over the rest of the season, but I don't know. It just seems like there's no way that there's not a timeshare with Tony Pollard.
Especially after Tony Pollard just has been eating it up.
It's every time he's on the field.
Oh,
And these are Dallas is a contender.
They are, and they're going to keep fighting.
So it just seems crazy to me to not put good players on the field.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I think Quan's projections for his people are low because Miles Sanders is getting the ball fed to him. That man's gonna eat. It's Miles Sanders season.
He's definitely seen a very consistent amount of volume as opposed to, I feel like, in the past 2 seasons as a previous owner of Miles Sanders.
You were a Miles Sanders man. Personally, I have a feeling Quan's going to pull something out here. I'm going to vote Quan. Caleb has sent his votes in, and Caleb's voting Austin. What do you boys think?
That's ridiculous. Quan's team sucks. No one in their right mind should pick Quan. His one good player is Justin Jefferson, and that's just not going to cut it.
That man could go for 40 any given week.
I mean,
against Buffalo?
No Josh Allen, maybe.
How is
Josh not going to help Justin
Jefferson? Justin Jefferson's.
When Josh Allen ain't out there to defend him?
Okay. So, I think Quan's team is the worst actual team, and Austin actually has a respectable team. That being said, Quan's going to win.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
Wait, no, that was
here.
a 6. No, sorry, Austin. Austin wins. I rolled a 6, I'm sorry.
I was a little confused, but never mind. I remember the strategy over there. I'm personally going to have to say Quan takes the win here.
Here we go, some decision here.
This is ridiculous.
And I base it off the fact that I think you guys overrate Austin's team. He has a very low floor on a lot of his players. And again, Diggs is his best player, and you just said it yourself. No Josh Allen, possibly.
It's true. And Kyle Pitts.
I honestly think Jalen Hurts is going to get like 50 points this week. Philly's coming off a bye, and Jalen Hurts might be in the front running for MVP right now.
Philly is not coming off a bye because I played Miles Sanders last week.
Oh, well. Forget what I said. But
every team was on a bye last week.
I still think Jalen Hurts is going for like 50 points this week.
Well, either way, I think Quan is going to put up a battle. He put a battle up against me, and if I hadn't scored the most I've ever scored this whole year, I probably would have lost. So, with that, let's see. Let's hop over to our co-host game, who can't bother to show up.
I like it.
Philip and Caleb.
I was excited to see him here.
Yeah, but now we get your beautiful face.
Definitely an upgrade.
Yeah, I think, man, just on paper, projection-wise, it looks like Philip's got a handy win. But as we know, projections mean nothing.
I mean, they kind of get better towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And Philip has a good team.
He sure does. And, I mean, like, that week I played Philip, I just felt like every update I got was one of his dudes getting a touchdown. I was like, just getting shot.
Caleb's won like 4 of his last 5, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's on a very strong win streak. I think
that's coming to an end. That's got to come to an end.
Well, that is, not to jump ahead, what my hot take is.
Ooh, nice. I agree with that. That's a good one.
Caleb loses his streak.
Yeah.
Now we can dive into the analytics here after.
Fuck. Well, I'm picking Caleb this week. Shit.
We didn't talk about it yet. I haven't even decided.
Ugh.
Everyone's
Well,
making their picks
that's
so fast.
I guess Derrick Henry.
My gut decision is saying Phillip, but like I mean, even looking at the names, like Caleb's gonna have to have someone have a really great week
Shit.
in order to keep up with Austin. Well, I guess Austin Eckler is facing a hard defense.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry is also playing a tough defense off of a bye.
That is true.
I don't want to be a homer, but I do think that the Broncos defense,
Their run defense is very good.
I think their defense is known to be solid at this current state in the year.
so yeah, and I don't think Tom Brady's going to have a good week. Fuck. Well, I'm going to have a hard time justifying Caleb's winning this.
The Seahawks are weird too because they were looking like a very good matchup, and now I don't know how to feel. Like you see the Seahawks on against one of your players, and their defense has kind of been not a very good situation to play against lately.
Yeah. It's kind of bad. Like their defense has really been holding their games together,
Mm-hmm.
giving them chances. And I mean, I will say Caleb does have Gano starting.
I can't believe he put Gano in. That's wild. Oh, I guess Nick Folk's on bye. Okay.
That explains a lot.
That explains it.
Steve, you missed this, but on our last video, we were talking. Nick Folk
Got 17 points last week.
Yeah.
And the week prior had 21. 21 from a kicker.
That's a lot of points. I haven't had my kicker do that in a little while. Possibly a whole season.
Possibly ever.
I've had some good kicker games.
I
know that.
Yeah. I feel like Phillip just seems like he's got way too much firepower for Caleb to make up for.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like Phillip's team has so much ceiling. Like, I mean, again, Mahomes is consistently getting over 30. Eckler's, I think he's the number one running back on the season.
He is.
And he deserves it. A.J. Brown obviously had his monster game. Waddle's been monstrous. I mean, then there's Evan Ingram. Is this his first week with Evan Ingram? Did he trade? Did that trade happen last week? Can't remember. Oh, yeah.
It happened when I played Phillip. So, yeah, he's had him for 1 week. And he got 1 point.
Yeah, I mean.
But he's been showing up.
That's one more point than Mark Andrews got. So
you are very right when you look at it that way.
And I don't think Andrews plays this week either. So
no, he's on bye.
Hard to say. Yeah. I don't see how Caleb wins this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't either, but I gotta stick to my guns.
I do think it's he had some players I think will do better than expected though. I think Henry, CeeDee Lamb, and Sutton will probably lead Caleb's points in scoring this week.
I think you're right. I agree with that.
And I think between them, it won't be a crushing defeat.
I think it'll be close.
Losing Ramondre is definitely hurting Caleb for this week.
Ramondre is a beast.
The backbone of his team right now.
Absolute beast.
All right.
So you're going with Phillip as well, Steve?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Phillip here.
All right, I like that.
It's probably the smart choice.
Let's see. Our last non-host matchup, Travis and Grayson, the matchup that really doesn't matter, sadly.
But it's, I don't mind it. I like having these competitive teams fight each other.
That's what I mean.
It's just there.
If Grayson wins here, that puts him at 3-7, and I mean, if one of us loses, only 2 games back, he's not dead, but he's very close. He's lost his legs.
He's fact
crawling on the ground.
He is dead because he has a terrible team.
Hold on. I mean, his team's not terrible. He's in a terrible situation, losing Jamar Chase.
No, it's a bad, terrible team. So
Leonard
this is a
Fournette was a
matchup
monster coming into the season.
This is a matchup of one of the worst teams in the league that I have nothing good to say about, and Travis's team.
Yeah,
So,
Travis's
which is
accumulation of players that don't play football.
I was going to
yes,
say,
Travis's
Keenan
team is
Allen,
not a real
I don't
team.
think...
He did drop 58 points or dollars on Trevor Lawrence, which is
It's really funny because he dropped Goff for him, and that's what happens when you drop Jared Goff is he has a good week, and I think Jared Goff's going to have a good week this week.
Yeah, I might pick him up because Josh Allen's questionable.
I sure hope so as a Amon-Ra owner.
Yeah.
Be together, brother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Travis's team just is sad. It's sad to look at.
I mean, we don't really have to talk about it because it's not.
Yeah, it's not really relevant. I mean, if Kyler Murray's playing, I think this game goes to Elf Boy.
I think you're right.
DK Metcalf's been showing up. I know he's been stealing targets and touchdowns from Lockett, so that's annoying. So that's what Grayson has going for him, I guess.
See, Lockett is he's just not a fantasy player anymore. Lockett's an amazing football player, but he's not here to help you get fantasy points.
He's a good team player.
I think he's the number 10 receiver this year.
But he's an amazing athlete, and he could do better. But that's not what he's concerned about. He's just he's not fighting for yards out there.
He's also balding.
I'm glad that he's my wide receiver too. I wouldn't have any other receiver.
He's a good wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Respectable.
Yeah, Garrett, who are you going with?
Yeah, go ahead and give us a
Grayson.
Good to know.
All right.
Who's
Well, we're
going to be
all
the top scoring player on his team this week?
Who is going to be the top scoring player on this week?
Yeah, on Grayson's team. Who's going to lead his team in fantasy points?
I think
Can we say
Kittle.
something wild like the Colts defense?
Raiders suck.
I would say it's between Kyler Murray and DK Metcalf.
Kittle all the way.
That's
Christian Kirk.
That's terrible. Okay, if we're doing joke picks like Kittle,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So DK Metcalf. I won't do the easy way out and pick a quarterback. DK Metcalf's highest scoring team or player. That's a good way to make this stupid matchup kind of interesting.
Something to
All right, what's the
watch
next
out for.
matchup?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Let's go hop to my game since it's the first on the list here.
Yeah, this is tough for you.
This is a hard week for your boy. When I don't need a hard week. Joe Mixon and Lamar Jackson both on bye for me.
Oof.
That does
70
suck.
of your points?
It's at least 70. But silver lining, Joe Burrow, James Robinson, Mark Andrews, Ravens defense, all on bye for him.
He does have a lot of bye weeks on his bench.
If there's any time I can pull a win out against him, it's this week. But it's going to be a fight.
Titans defense against the Broncos, that they might get 20-plus points.
Is Russell playing, or do we know?
If he's playing, if he's not playing, I don't know if it makes a difference.
Yeah, Broncos have been kind of scary.
The Noah Fant tight end thing is the one thing that makes me question his. There has to be someone better to pick up.
He sent me a trade offer for. No, it doesn't matter. He's on bye too anyway, so it doesn't matter. He wanted Mark Andrews back up, and I ignored it.
Isaiah Likely I think he's good. You took him from me, and I wanted him.
So Noah Fant is or not Noah Fant, the Daniel Jones is your quarterback of the week?
I
thought
think
that was
so.
Interesting as well.
That's very interesting.
They're facing Houston. I think what's going to happen is he's going to have a lot of rushing yards. A lot of those, when they're close to the end zone, he's going to run it in. I really do think.
I don't know. I didn't realize that you had Lamar and Mixon on bye.
It's a
those
tough.
Are your two best players, dude.
I don't know. Lamar's been kind of disappointing this year. If you look at his points.
Let me take a look.
I don't know. I do
not.
think those are your two best players.
Weeks 1 through 3, he was amazing, and then after that, very average.
Okay, who on your team is better than Lamar and Mixon then?
I mean,
Right now,
Cordero.
is Cordero
I'll
better
tell
than
people
Lamar?
away. I respect that. I respect that a lot. Hell yeah.
I mean, like Cordero's only played 5 weeks, and he has had 2 bad weeks, but he's gone 22, 22, and 17 out of his 5 weeks, and his other 2 were 5 and 9. But he got hurt in the week he got 9.
So you're telling me he's boomer bust?
Well, he's only had 1 bust, and he's had 1 injury.
No, he's good. Pump him up. Like we were all wrong about him. You were right.
I appreciate this. Oh, sweet love.
It's impressive how efficient he truly is
Yeah, he
on
had
this terrible offense.
he had 13 carries last week and 2 touchdowns.
I mean, it's bonkers that nobody else does anything on this offense, but this man continues to impress.
Yeah, I'm with you, Blake. I'm proud of you for the Patterson pick because that was someone.
Don't give him too much
gave a
credit.
shit
He's
about.
tried his damnedest to trade him away. Nobody will take him.
I did, but it was for Devontae Adams, who would have been much better in my wide receiver slot than Cordero.
Yes, I would agree with that.
But besides the point, I have a tough matchup.
Yeah, I kind of want to bring up the fact that Ethan is playing, Travis Etienne, Cooper Kupp, and D Hop and Josh Jacobs. These are a lot of points that you're gonna have to overcome.
Yeah, and the fact Josh Jacobs is playing Indianapolis, that's terrifying.
I mean, the Colts, I don't even know if anybody's gonna play. I don't think they care about their franchise right now.
Well, they have Jeff Saturday as their coach.
I don't know. I have no idea who that is, but
That is the biggest gimmick I've ever heard.
He is
That's the most gimmicky pick.
one of the best centers that was ever in the league, turned into a reporter, turned into a head coach.
oh,
So yeah,
See,
I don't think he expected it either.
Yeah, when they dropped their head coach, I messaged in our group chat. I was like, I think the Colts.
Jim Irsay.
throwing.
Jim Irsay was like, "I'm just glad he was available."
He was like, I was already at the games.
I'm gonna vote Ethan. Fuck it. What have I got to lose?
I think
also
that's a
rolled
safe.
Ethan.
I think that's a safe choice.
Because I mean, last time I voted Kwan, or no, I voted. I did vote Kwan, and I had the best week of my season.
Yeah, I'm picking Ethan. I rolled Ethan, and I said it almost every week. I think Ethan's is the best team.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind picking Blake, just because Ethan's dominant, but Ethan's dominant.
I think his matchups are just way better than mine. Like just looking down, I mean, Dameon Pierce is facing the Giants, and the Giants don't have a great rush defense, but it's only. And then that also, my defense is the Giants. I might have to change it around.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, like I think D Hop and Cooper Kupp could literally put up 70 points on you this week.
Combined. Oh yeah, and Josh Jacobs, and Travis Etienne, and Lazard.
Yeah,
It depends what kind of week his players have.
If your wide receivers do what their ceiling is, you could demolish him.
Exactly.
But your team hasn't. So
yeah, if you look at Debo, Mike, and Amon-Ra, they've had some pretty shitty games.
Yeah, and I mean each one of those guys can break 30, but they probably won't.
That's a big if. Let's go bounce over to Steve's game.
Steve, real quick, can you explain your name to me?
So my old name was getting constantly berated, and I knew my new name would get berated the same.
Was the name a Lord of the Rings reference?
Yes. I mean, it was 100%. I mean, it was just basically just Tom Bombadil just thrown in with Devontae Adams. And I mean, I don't know, it was just for fun. But, this current name, I obviously traded Devontae Adams away. So I had to come up with something new. And now Christian Avasarala is my favorite character in the show The Expanse. So, so Christian Alava Sarala.
What a name! Now that I know, it makes more sense.
If you've never seen The Expanse, it's really good.
I'm gonna have to click the product placement on this video.
I mean, Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Prime Video.
There we go. Hashtag Prime Video. I mean,
it's gonna be way better than Thursday Night Game.
I guess Nellis has not put a wide receiver in for Josh Palmer yet.
Oh, do you think he should?
Well, oh wait, never mind. He's not on bye. Never mind. I saw that dash, and I thought he was on bye.
Yeah, Palmer had a good week last week, and his QB is Justin Herbert.
So the little double dip?
No, probably still no Keenan Allen, and even if there is a Keenan Allen, he probably makes one play. So I think Josh Palmer is a solid 18.
Nellis does have some decisions to make. Oh, he hasn't even changed his lineup yet. He has Saquon on his bench.
Oh yeah, that's 23 points that he's sitting down there.
And I bet Travis Kelce bumps up the tight end, and Mooney or Wilson goes in his flex. Or Jonathan Taylor. I don't know. I don't know if you trust that man.
I don't know if Jonathan Taylor plays. I don't know if I start him. I don't know if I'm really glad he turned me down on that Colts trade. I mean, on that Jonathan Taylor trade, because the Colts look terrible.
They don't look great, that's for sure.
So I don't think I'd want Jonathan Taylor rest of season. At least I wouldn't want the investment that it would have taken.
Not gonna lie, I think I like Steve's team on this.
I do too. The only thing I don't like about Steve's team is that he has 3 Chicago Bears starting.
Somebody's going to get those
Fields
points.
Is going to score. Justin Fields is going to light it up.
I will say
so good.
They're playing
Detroit defense. There's points to go around.
Points to be had. Yeah, I mean, I will be interested to see what Nels does. Is he going to pick up a new kicker? Is he going to drop his?
He's not dropping Justin Tucker.
So he's got to drop somebody.
He has Kenny Galladay for some completely unknown reason.
Kenny Galladay is slated to come back this week.
It's irrelevant.
He has 4 points on the season.
He doesn't belong on a fantasy football team.
We paid that man $52 million for 3 years, I think.
How'd that work out?
He has 4 fantasy points.
But what did he do for the team? You know, maybe he's a real good guy in the locker room.
I think he's actually been mad that he hasn't played as much as he should. So I don't know. But
I can't imagine him taking that out on anybody. I don't think it's anybody's fault other than his.
Man, yeah, I'd say a likely start might be something you can look into.
He's on bye.
Oh, you're right. Well, there you go. I do like the Odell pickup, Steve.
Yeah, you know, my wide receiver core, I've lost 2 wide receivers in the last 2 weeks, so it just seemed like a good decision.
Yeah, because I mean, you can just hold on to him, and then
he should sign with somebody this week.
You guys hopefully not the Cowboys.
I mean, seems to be the word on the streets currently.
Yeah, I think Steve, you're getting my vote here.
This is hard to talk about because I don't think Nellis's team is set.
He looks so good.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right.
Who does?
I said Nellis's team. Like, it looked so good a few weeks ago, and I just think it's lost a little bit of its luster with Jonathan Taylor looking so rough.
Well, I'm picking Nellis. I rolled.
Oh.
I'm picking Nellis.
I also think I'm picking Nellis. When he plugged Saquon in there and put someone else in besides Gesicki, I think that's going to
obviously putting these people in.
Yeah, I think that's going to bump his numbers up. And I mean, I was looking at his team before I realized he didn't have people from his bench in.
What the fuck?
And then I realized, I was like, wow, that dude's going to have quite the lineup this week. But I think it's going to be a battle. I think it's going to be a very close battle.
I am definitely picking myself. We'll
Yeah.
see how that pans out for me.
You got McCaffrey. I think that's very.
Yeah, I mean McCaffrey, Fields make me feel good about my QB futures. And I mean the only thing that I don't like about my lineup this week is probably Dallas Goddard's matchup. But whenever you have these, the top players on, in a position, you just play them. You don't worry about it.
Yeah, you just plug and play, baby. Plug and play. But yeah, I think it'll be a good matchup. Once Nels gets all that plugged in, I think it's gonna be you guys are gonna be fighting. I guess yeah. And last but not least, Garrett, you and Philly, the man himself, the philosophical man.
Yeah, Tua would scare me, but I have Hill, and
Yeah, you have a pretty easy
Their
way to
success.
negate his points.
is linked.
Yeah. I'd say Hill's definitely bound to get as many points as Tua for the most part. I mean, I know that for some reason I haven't looked at Hill very much this season, but yeah, that's a lot of points.
Also, I think the Cowboys, their defense is projected like 7 points. Look how bad Rodgers looked against a bad defense.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
he threw like 4 interceptions.
Imagine how bad he's going to look against the best defense,
And if Aaron Jones doesn't play, which I don't know how that looks, but there's really no chance for the poor Green Bay Packers right now. I imagine that I don't know the health of the Cowboys defense currently, but I imagine that'll be a destructive game.
I
I can
think
see a pick six.
I could also see you pick 12s. I mean, it's scary, Garrett. Devontae Adams. I think Ayuk. If you look at Ayuk's games, which like I'm so upset I traded this man away, but like I would never start him over Debo. But he's had 20, 15, 28. I don't know. It depends how the 49ers come back off their bye and if they show up.
You got Hawkinson very involved last week.
Very, with the exclamation point.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I like everything on Philly's team except for his tight end and his flex.
You got a problem with Jeff Wilson?
I'm just not high on him.
Jeff Wilson ate it up last week.
16 points last week.
And what about the tight end, Greg?
You have to be a fan of Greg. You have to be.
That he's played 3 games, and he's gotten 12.
All
11,
3 of them are solid.
He's pretty cool. I do like him, but I'm trying
90% route participation from what I hear. I mean,
I'm trying to be unbiased, but the man is awesome.
I remember when I was high on Mr. Tyler Ukabukabuka, and that dude died.
Is that a tight end somewhere? Who is this guy?
It was Denver's tight end.
Okay.
He did so bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it depends if Josh Allen's okay. I mean,
I really don't see how they lose this. I think I'm looking at the matchups, and
you don't see Nick Chubb against Miami. You don't see Devontae Adams against Indy.
You don't see Kareem Hunt against Miami.
I don't know what.
Brother.
I have nothing to say on that.
Brother.
I'm going with Philly this week.
Yeah. You're a fucking hater. Whatever.
What you going with, Garrett?
I'm going Philly.
Oh. I'm going to go Garrett. I think Garrett's team is a force to be reckoned with.
Philly's team has performed lately.
I need a bounce back after last week.
Adam Thielen's not the way to do it.
But yeah, I mean, like, I think this seems like a week that's leading up to be really pivotal. I think a lot of teams are going to be in desperation mode after this week.
Well, I keep saying, like, in our division at least, it's like when things are going to start to separate. And it just doesn't. There's a little bit of separation, and then it comes back. And then a little separation the other way, and then it comes back. It's getting kind of annoying, and it looks like at the end of the regular season, it's going to be kind of a bloody fight for these playoff spots.
We're just fighting for scraps up here.
Which is, I mean, I'm pretty excited.
For my fucking life.
I'm pretty excited for how these playoffs seeding turns up.
Yeah, I enjoy a nice little fight to death.
I mean, yeah, there's no telling.
At
this point, somebody's not making it.
A lot of people aren't making it. Half of them.
Well, but I mean, some of them don't matter. They're not going. They were never going.
They ain't never. So now we're to the portion, Steve, where we drop the hot takes. And
all right,
Caleb has already submitted a hot take, and I hate it. I hate it already a lot. He said the Giants are going to lose to Houston. The Giants are heavily favored.
Giants lose to Houston.
Now, I will say Houston looked pretty decent against the Eagles.
The Eagles are better than the Giants.
I would agree.
We can give Steve some time to think about his hot take. You got something, Blake?
This might be a spite hot take, which I already touched on earlier, but I think Caleb's 4-time win streak comes to a halt this week. And it may not be a hot take because he's already projected under Phillip, but fuck him.
Yes.
Because fuck him for fucking my boys.
I love it. If I could bet money on that, I would.
What you got, Garrett?
Colts are in disarray right now, and they picked one of the most unqualified head coaches I can think of in recent memory. But I think the Colts are going to pull it out. I think they're going to rally behind Jeff Saturday, and they're going to beat the Raiders. Because fuck the Raiders.
I like it. Any score predictions?
I predict it's going to be an ugly, ugly game. So if I were a betting man,
lots of punts.
If I were a betting man, perhaps under the expected amount of points.
Under.
The Colts pull it off, and they win by, again, more than a field goal.
Now,
don't get crazy now.
I don't know what the line is on this game. But I'm going to have to say that I think that I have faith that Denver versus Tennessee, this is Russell's actual come out for the year.
Oh.
This is going to be a big game for Russ. I'm thinking +3 touchdowns. And part of me wants to say the Titans even get shut out.
Oh my gosh. Titans shut out. I got it written down. We'll see.
It's lining up. They're coming off their bye. I think that
they're angry.
We haven't seen Russell all year.
He hasn't been cooking.
We're going to meet him. And this is
historically, the Broncos do well against the Titans.
And I think this is going to set a trend for the remainder of the season for Russell.
Well, I bet Garrett likes that hot take.
That gets the Garrett stamp of approval for sure.
I appreciate that.
I like that. I like that. That's a pretty good little hot take. Now, historically, we like to bet these, but in good faith, I can't bet the Giants to lose to Houston. But I'll do all the other ones. Because I think Denver beating Tennessee sounds plausible. I think Colts beating the Raiders could happen. There's teams, whenever there's a lot of change, stuff happens. Because the opposing defense doesn't know how to handle the changes. They don't know what to expect. And it just causes chaos.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, I mean, Steve, I don't know if you want to look at we were talking a little bit in the last video, but the standings, we took a peek at them, and it's crazy. Like, you are in sole possession of our division.
Oh, yeah.
And Ethan's in sole possession of his division. But that's within
both
one
are
or two
only
games.
A game ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, both are only a game ahead.
Like, Philly's probably got to be sweating because he's at the bottom of those top people in his division, which, I can't remember if divisions matter when it comes to playoffs.
See, I didn't think they did, but then viewing Philly's current seed, he's the 8th seed, I'm pretty sure, which I think only makes sense if it does base off divisional standings.
Yeah, because then that would mean
he's either the 8th or the 9th.
I'm looking at the DraftKings line right now, and the line is Raiders -6. So the Colts are hurting according to DraftKings, but I think they're going to blow it out of the water.
I don't support that. I think that the Raiders are not very good, but the Colts are.
I'm saying Colts -3.5. Bet me, brother.
All right, what is the Broncos at?
Now, where's the Broncos line? Just out of curiosity.
Ooh, probably even worse. It's Titans -2, so they're high in the Broncos a little bit.
Interesting.
It's almost a pick 'em. So
where is it? Yeah, where is the game?
It's in Tennessee.
Okay. Interesting.
Just gonna say, if it was a Mile High, Broncos,
they're done.
I would bet thousands of dollars in the Broncos. But
interesting.
I'm looking at the projected playoff bracket for us.
Yeah.
And Steve and Ethan both have the bye, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And then it has Garrett against Phillip and me against Nellis.
Interesting, yeah.
Which is so weird to me when you go to the standings.
No, that makes sense because it would.
Why is that weird?
I mean, I guess
that makes sense.
I thought also
you guys are in. Yeah, I think it is divisional based then, because those are divisional matchups, and that's not based off of the current ranking. So
I would put all of those teams obviously, Steve, you are in first place, but Ethan's team's the best, and the rest of those teams have been solid all year, so that doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, but and that's the thing too, is it's literally all these teams are 2 losses away from not making the playoffs at this current point.
Yeah, if I lose to Ethan here, if I beat Ethan here, that's a big swing, because me having an advantage over him, I could tie it up.
Yeah, okay, Steve, we need to have the discussion. Are you the worst 6-3 team of all time?
Perhaps. I mean, just viewing that, I'm 300 points below Ethan on points scored on the season, and 1 game behind.
And are you ready to apologize for your current standing?
Absolutely not.
That's what I like to hear. Absolutely. Fuck yeah.
No, we again, all the wins I have are 100% deserved. I've made a bad, I made a bad play last week. I know that I think it was played against Philly. I think you guys were reviewing the game, and I definitely could have set a lineup that beat Philly, but what can you do?
You win some, you lose some. I could have set a lineup to beat you, Steve.
Oh yeah, I mean, our game was within 2 points though.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at
I was 30 points behind Philly to leave 40 points on your bench is kind of crazy.
That hurts. I am looking at the points against, and poor Quan, man, just has the most points against.
Yeah, scored more points than me, So I'm saying, his team's not. It's not bad.
His team is bad, but he's unlucky too. That's why he's 1-8.
He definitely did not have any favors going along the way. I tried to help him out. I tried to offer him some trade offers, and
out of the good of your heart. Out of the goodness of your heart.
it was well. I was trying to rob him, man, but
yeah, Quan tried to rob me.
There were some poor choices on my
I don't know if you watched the episode, but I would like to apologize to you in person.
I did see the episode.
Trade.
I appreciated it. I think I might have made a comment on that one, but I can't remember. But
that was my bad.
In hindsight, I think you made the right choice. Because bro, he's not the man he was.
But
he sold high, and you may have.
I think you and Caleb, you more so, were justified in being upset with me though.
Oh, I mean, there was a lot of effort on my side that I was really interested, and you were not interested in selling them to me. But it was a good laugh. It was a good laugh. You're like, he sent me a trade, and then it was just trade went through. Like, you son of a.
Sometimes you gotta sell high, Like
you should always sell high.
That's what I do.
You should trade Mixon right now.
Some might say. That's what I did with Edwards-Helaire. Sold him high.
First 2 weeks, he looked like a monster.
And now we got the number 3 tight end in the league.
Number 3?
I think so.
Who is that?
Ertz.
Nah, he's not better than. He's not doing. No way, he's number 3, right?
He is number 3.
Oh, goodness.
So it's Mark Andrews, probably number 2, and then Kelsey number 1.
You got me beat, dude. Dallas Goedert's only in possession 4. Unbelievable.
Where's Hawkinson, bro?
I don't know. Look,
if he stays at this volume, he'll climb. I'll probably say he's around tight end 6. Oh, spot on.
5.
I tried to trade you for Goddard, Steve.
There's always a chance.
Hey, but I mean, you never know until you do know.
Hawkinson is 5, by the way.
Man, next time I'm on the pod, I want to have Austin on here.
Hey, we could make it happen.
We gotta get Austin back in here.
Austin was a good guest.
Austin was a really good guest.
The comments were asking for him. They said, "Where's the beautiful man?" I said, "He has a family." Comments. Garrett, what are you snacking on? Is that some Freddy's
fries? Oh my gosh!
There's not even a Freddy's close to your house. That's wild.
I don't even know if there's a Freddy's in New York.
Well,
my wife picked it up for me.
We're diverging, boys, but it was a good pod.
Hold on, Garrett. I wanted to show you this. You might be interested. I grabbed this out of the fridge just a second ago.
What is that? Hold on.
Birch water. I don't have a clue. There's only one way to find out. I don't even know if I can open this monster.
Hold on.
Yeah, give us a taste test here.
This thing's sealed up tight.
The birch.
I need a bottle opener. Oh, there we go. It's got a weird smell.
Oh boy.
Earth water.
That's no good. It's no good.
And with
Right,
that,
Darcy.
thanks for joining, guys. We appreciate your guesting, Steve. It was a lovely experience.
Oh yeah.
We'll have you on again.
Do we need to
Speaking
get
in
a
here.
thumbnail screenshot?
Oh, we can totally do
Oh, we
it.
got the shirts. We got the shirts for the thumbnail screen.
Hell yeah.